What's up, everybody? It's another video from Red Boy Vlogs, touching on addiction again. Um, Man, it's crazy to see like how much addiction impacts people's lives and families. Like it's a disaster. So, like, I want to get into something real quick, and this is how easy addiction can take over your life. Now, I was an all-stars football player, middle school rec ball. I got tons of trophies. I had, I was basically um, my team captain on defense. I made the newspaper. Like there was a lot of things that I had going for me. Like as a kid, I feel like I could have really took off in my football career. But being that, you know, I've always chased that instant gratification, which to me is like a drug by itself. Because, if you're always looking for instant gratification, whether it's in because you're bored and stuff and you want to just do something, and like, you're always looking for a way out. And for me, that was getting into high school is when I started to experiment with the drugs and the skipping the school, the getting in trouble, looking for attention all the wrong ways and stuff. And, high school was fun for me, more so because I really didn't attend it. But, you know, um, I didn't have a problem in high school. I was more of the popular kid, I guess. Um, Everybody I hung out with, we were all real close. Some of us were from the neighborhood friends and stuff like that. So, anyways, straight into high school, like I was doing anything I could to get you know my hands on um, a pain pill, and this is like crazy because I wasn't really chasing it, but if I knew if the opportunity came available to me, I would go for it. And the first time I ever tried a pain pill, and I'm gonna right back to my first injury in football. I broke my arm, and they gave me like Lorcet 10s or something. But I instantly fell in love with them things. Like I remember waking up the next day. My arm's broke. I'm in a cast. I'm excited when I wake up because I know I got these bottle of pills to take. And like I'm ready to go to school now. Like I'm ready to do all this. Like they made me feel that good and that good about myself. And that if I know what I've known now back then, sure a lot of pain and misery and suffering could have been avoided, but I didn't. I was young. I didn't think it was hurting anything. I've seen adults using pain pills every day, and they lived a normal life. So it seemed. So I didn't think it hurt anything. You know what I mean? I'm just taking these, and life's great. Well, I remember when I ran out. I didn't have any more refills, and I'm like, damn, that sucks. You know, how could I get some more? And I went like a couple weeks, without taking them. It sucked. The withdrawals, I wasn't really on them, so I didn't really have no like horrible withdrawals. But I remember going to my buddy's house, and he had his parents had oxycodone in their medicine cabinet, and I was instantly, got a hold of them, and I'm like, yes, you know what I mean? Let's go to school now. Let's do everything we're supposed to do. I got all this energy, I'm just loving it. Little did I know I'm fueling and creating this monster that would be not long after that in full blown and out of its cage on a path of destruction. So out of high school, I start working construction, roofing. If you've worked roofing, you know it's hard work. So, it's physically tiring on the body, especially in the summertime and stuff. So I was looking for something that gave me energy, and I knew the one thing that gave me energy, made me feel good, and would make me feel on top of the world was a pain pill. So I start buying them. I get on this connection to where I can buy them every day. Well, I'd buy like 60 to 100 at a time. And they would last me, at that time, 60 would last like a week, Then soon 60 only started lasting like 5 days, 4 days, 3 days. And soon, they weren't doing nothing for me, so I find myself using a more stronger pain pill, which was an Opana. And again, that was doing what I wanted it to do. But after a while, it stopped giving me the energy, and I was just, at that point, using it to not be sick. Which is miserable. Very much so. So, I'm using this, and in my town at that time, heroin was not a thing. If you did get it, it was no good. So nobody wasted their time or money with it. Everybody went for the Opanas. OCs, Oxycontins were around, but hard to find. Fentanyl patches, stuff like that was the thing. I moved to Virginia Beach. And moved up there, new scenery, tried to get away from the people, places, and things because of, my addiction. Only moving into a heroin city, basically. Well, so to speak. Heroin's everywhere. It's who you know and everything. So I'm using it there. The first time I'm starting to use heroin. I love it. It's cheaper, it's better, it's stronger. And from that point on, I always chased heroin, and to the point to where I would give my rent money away. If I was sick enough, I would sell my car. I would have sold my soul for heroin at that time. And that's sad to say, but it's the truth. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it and lie to you. But if I could have willingly pulled my soul out, put it on the table, and said, give me a gram of heroin, you can have it, I would have done it. And it's so crazy thinking about something like that now. But it's the reality of it. And anybody that's been in addiction can relate. So, moving forward, everybody knows how it goes. Jails, institutions, and death. And I experienced all of them, including death. I've overdosed. And, more so, what I wanted to speak on, giving you a little rundown of my life and my history of what I've went through to get me, where I'm at. Wanted to speak on, even once I got clean from, not using the heroin and stuff, I would find myself still miserable, depressed, and thinking that as long as my brain knew there was a better way, that I could take a little drug and things just be so much better, that I would never be normal again. And the thing about that is it's very hard from day to day. You know, living sober, doing things sober when you used to do them high or whatever, you know, that's so hard. And it seems like the world's not a good place almost without the drug. So it feels sometimes. But I'm going to tell you this, for me, I had to stay, and I still have to stay doing something. I cannot let myself be stuck up here, because if I get stuck up here, I'm going to go use. You know, getting connection with a higher power is important, whether it be God, whether it be the sky. Something that you can pray to, relate to, and have the spiritual connection with, I should say. You know, for me, that's what I had to do, and still every day I struggle, but it gets easier. It does. You know, the longer you go without it, the easier I think it gets. And there's some days I find myself wanting to use so bad that I almost want to break down and cry, to be honest. But you know, the reality of it is I know if I go and use, that's gonna awaken the beast. I'm then going to lose everything. It maybe not be overnight, it may not be within a week, it may not be within a month, but the end result for me has always been the same. So, you know, I had to learn to love myself. You know, I do have a good support system. You know, as far as my family, they're not addicts, but they understand somewhat. But I do have addicts that are clean, that I can relate with, that I can talk to. When I'm feeling really, 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 really down, I'll pick the phone up for 10 or 15 minutes at a time. Speaking today, I talked to an addict, and shout out to him. He knows who I talk to because it's the first time I ever talked to him on the phone. And, you know, just getting off the phone with him, I felt better. And I've never met the man in person. While he was a friend of my mom's in school, and, you know, he went through addiction and everything, and he's 20 years clean now. And just speaking to him, you know, someone that I know understands and can relate to my pain. When I got off the phone, my day felt even better, you know. So, you know, I want to really stress how important it is to connect with people, create a fellowship, get involved. Addiction's horrible. I put it to you like this: I don't wish addiction on my worst enemy. I rather have the flu. I rather go through the coronavirus, as crazy as that sounds, than to go through heroin withdrawals and the cycle of addiction. Because it's that, to me, it was that much worse and that much miserable. And I know some people's addiction has not got as bad as others, or as bad as mine, maybe. Or maybe mine hasn't got as bad as others. But I know we can all relate at the end of the day. Anybody that's been using. So get involved with your local fellowship. Get some phone numbers. Don't be afraid to pick the phone up. You may save your life, or you may save somebody else's life. Because you don't even know that conversation you have with that person may have just changed their whole way of thinking when they get off the phone. And even though you was calling them because of something you're going through, and you were doing it for your benefit, it still could have helped them. And that's the amazing thing about it. You know, not only are you helping yourself when you pick the phone up, but you could be helping somebody else and saving their life too. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't yet. I got a video coming up on pretty much I'm going to talk about my whole life from like the beginning to end, well, to where I'm at now, with addiction, with in trouble with the law, drugs, everything. I'm going to tell the worst parts to the best parts. So make sure to tune in for that. Thank y'all. I love y'all. Have a good evening.